So UFC Noche takes place this weekend. Did anybody even know? No, seriously, did anybody even know that one of the best fights of the year, Diego Lopez versus Gene Silva, is this Saturday? Did anybody know? I'm going to answer it for everybody. No. Nobody knew. Nobody knows that this card's on this weekend because the UFC, for some reason, an MMA organisation, has decided to, instead of promoting their own fucking product, they have decided to start promoting boxing. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. This is on the UFC's website. Bruh. Why the fuck is this fight here? It's on the UFC's Instagram. It's all over their social media. Why is Canelo Crawford being promoted on the UFC? It doesn't make any sense, especially when they have a card this weekend. This shit wouldn't have annoyed me that much if they just didn't do a fight card this weekend, but they are. They are. And Dana White's the one that goes, haha, the Mexican fans, man, UFC Noche, and makes this fight card dedicated to the Mexican fan base. They had it in the Sphere last year. It's meant to be this big thing every year. But this year, so it was a massive event last year, one of the biggest events the UFC have done last year, if you listen to Dana talk about it. This year, though, he doesn't give a fuck about it because Turki Al-Sheikh has came along and said, do you want to promote Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford? And Dana White has just dropped everything. I knew this fight was happening. I knew Gene Silva versus Diego Lopez was happening. I knew the fight had been made. I completely didn't realise until UFC Fight Night Paris, when they put up a poster with the date, that this was this weekend. That's how shit of a job the UFC have done at promoting this. This may as well be an Apex fight. It literally may as well be. Also, Dana White will have known for a while that he was going to be involved in Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. Why the fuck would you then put a UFC card on the same night? You done it last year for UFC Noche and it under-delivered against Canelo. So why are you doing it again this year? Especially when this time around you're involved. And they're not even trying to compete with the Canelo Alvarez Terence Crawford card. Now I understand the Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford, it's one of the biggest fights of the year. So the UFC was going to really struggle to compete with that. But they haven't even made the effort to try and compete. The Canelo Alvarez Terence Crawford boxing card is fucking ass. If you look outside of Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford, which is a typical thing to do in boxing, the rest of the card is fucking shit. No one is going to be watching the undercard at all. The UFC had the chance with this main event anyway to stack up a card, and this is what they've given us. We've got two ranked fighters, two ranked UFC fighters on this card.
Huh?
What was the fucking point? What's the point in wasting this main event as well on this card if you're not going to promote it? This is one of the best fights of the year. But I am really looking forward to seeing this fight. It's going to deliver. And the thing is, this main event will be better than Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford. That's the thing. This will be better. Now, I understand that Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford is taking place after this card's over. But it doesn't defeat the fact that Dana White, who is employed by an MMA organisation, has decided to completely just fuck it off to go and promote one boxing event. It's not as if he's transferring over now and he's got a lot of boxing cards coming up. I know they've got that TKO league, but nothing's really came of that yet. And to be honest, if the undercard of the Canelo Alvarez Terence Crawford card is anything to go off for the TKO boxing league, I think they just fucking disband right now, because that's the biggest load of shit I've ever seen. It's absolutely insane to me. You are employed by the UFC. Employed by the UFC. And the thing is, the promotion that's gone into Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford, you've had them up In New York, you've had Shaquille O'Neal there, Tom Brady for some reason, Dana White sitting there while they're having a bit of back and forth. The UFC doesn't get anything. The UFC can't even get a fucking face-to-face. Instead, the UFC do shit like this. They get the Snapchat filter out. Do I look more like a pretzel or a bologna sandwich? And that's how they promote events. That's how they promote events now. It's fucking insane to me. It is so annoying. What is, like, Dana White needs to go. It's time to go, blood. His focus is on something else. And if that's what he wants to do, fair enough. He's been a massive part in building the UFC. But if your focus isn't on the UFC right now, you can't chop and change. You're either one or you're other. So are you with the UFC or are you now wanting to get involved in boxing? If you want to get involved in boxing, great. Fuck off. Let someone else step in that's going to make good matchups, give us good cards. This UFC Noche is the biggest piece of shit. I've seen Apex Fight Night cards with a better put together card. Maybe not a better main event. This is a really good main event. But a better card put together as a whole. I do not get... I honestly do not understand this. But you can let me know your opinions in the comments below. Rant over. Did you even know that this fight was taking place? Because I didn't until UFC Paris stuck up a photo of it. Because the UFC have done zero promotion for this fight, but they'll promote a boxing fight, which the funny thing is the UFC will have it plastered all over their social media. At the boxing event, will the UFC even get more than one mention? Probably fucking not. Will the UFC be promoted at all at this event? Probably fucking not. Good night.